Joe Cross listed on president absent. He was absent.
I was absent.
Yeah.
And Dan was the one that was here. So we scratched Joe and fill that in. And another question we had was under the last paragraph was the plants being built on grass run. That's not grass run.
It's Gum Run. Gum Run, it's the one down in.
I think
Is that what she was talking about? I'm just making an assumption that that's.
Well, we were talking about the Ontario plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's on Gum Run.
It's
Yeah.
Gum Run.
Okay.
We had to change the look at them. Otherwise,
Okay, we'll fix that.
any other changes?
Not the president, I'll make a motion to accept this presented with corrections.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Public participation options. There's two of these that we have that you don't have.
Okay.
That would be the Board Ed and the EDA.
Okay.
There's somewhere between 6 and 10 here that I can get. I
Okay.
just have, I had 2 people promise them and I haven't gotten back to them. But I'll make an effort here in the next 2 weeks to get
Okay.
between 6 and 10 more. Because
Okay.
I think they'll do it. The businesses are going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to get them to fill something like that.
I would say the most important would be any county agency, the Board of Education, the library.
The library and the sheriff both told me. I talked to them, they said, yeah, they'll do it.
Yeah.
And I got to.
PSD.
Yeah, that's me.
So I got the North, so the ones I did get back were a realtor, which he had some really good insight on the housing in the county. The DCAA, which they had some really good insight.
Okay.
The county park, which he did really good survey about some of the issues with the county park and other recreation. Historical Society sent me theirs, the North Bend Rail Trail Foundation. And then I received one I received 2 from the County Watershed Association. And the one woman, I think she's a teacher in high school, so she actually talked to her students as well. And just kind of asked them.
Really good.
So, yeah, Linda. So that was some really good feedback. So those are the only ones I've gotten so far.
Okay, well, we've got 2 more. Do you have yours digitally
Yeah.
or just via paper?
I'll take it real quick. You know what, the one for the, I have banks, Randy's done with the one for banks, and then the Board of Ed.
Okay.
Yep, I'll have to type it in.
Okay, so we have 3.
Okay.
Okay.
But I had grand plans to kind of have a draft of our like community overview and needs assessment today, but then as I started writing it, I realized I'm still missing a lot of information. And since there's not an online presence at the county level or the municipal level, a lot of the data I need is going to be from these surveys. So we'll go through it. I'll just talk about some of the missing.
I will make a concerted effort here in the next couple of weeks
Okay.
to get, I can't promise too many business ones though.
Yeah.
Because they're, a lot of those folks are hard to track down and you just don't have time to.
Okay. And then in regards to other public participation options, tomorrow, Zana and Jesse are going to the high school to talk to, is it a civics class?
Yes, Jennifer, one of the high school tomorrow.
Yeah. So.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, Jesse's gonna go for me because that would be difficult with me living so far away and getting my kids to daycare. So what we're gonna do with them is we kind of have a mapping exercise where they're gonna have identified some issues on the map, the county and West Union specifically. And I told Jesse to kind of focus on the park, the county park, and what the youth would like to see there, because I think that'll be interesting. And then talk about West Union and what they feel some of the issues and concerns are. And then what they feel like the high priority should be in regards to projects moving forward. And then we have them do a postcard exercise where they're writing like in the future, like what their ideal Doddridge County would be. So that's kind of what we're doing. They actually usually, every high school I've been to, we've gotten really good input and stuff that you just don't think about. And I feel like I'm young, but I'm 20 years older than high school students now, so, which is a little depressing. But they just kind of open your eyes to kind of some different issues and concerns.
Okay.
So hopefully at our next meeting, we can talk about that as well. And I'll bring the Linda Ireland's information she got from her students as well, which is really good.
Well, I think that's in good hands. We should get started.
And then I wanted to go over the draft vision and goals from when we met in February. And so you guys had sent me the vision statement. Lozana sent it to me. And I tweaked it a little bit. And I can't remember exactly. I put Doddridge County in the beginning because it just said, like, celebrate our history. And so I just tweaked it a little bit. And if you guys don't like it, that's not going to hurt my feelings. So if you want to take a moment to read it.
I don't know how fast we are.
Our vast
manpower, but I like it. It's
What's our vision?
Yeah,
Sure.
Strike fast, just use resources.
Probably 8,000 people.
Well, resources are more than people.
Exactly. I'm talking about manpower. Yeah. Resources. Give me a number.
Thoughts? Do you want to leave fast or do you want to take it out?
What's that?
She said, don't really know if you have vast resources. They just say use our resources and manpower.
It would be okay without it.
Yeah, but I do think we have to ask mineral resources and timber resources.
So that's one opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. 6 months.
Right now, compared to the state of West Virginia, we do have vast resources, so yes.
Yeah.
Everything's relevant.
Okay, and then we had 5 goals, and there was just a few minor tweaks to this from the last meeting. Improve community services to meet the needs of residents and business owners, encourage and promote local leadership and community engagement, strengthen housing opportunities to attract and retain residents, identify and foster appropriate economic development opportunities, and address infrastructure needs to support existing and new development. Now, what I want to do is kind of go through the goals and objectives, because they kind of go hand in hand with some of the missing information. And this goes hand in hand with the plan layout. See, everything's connected. So if we want to pass that around, and then you guys copies. Oops, sorry. Here's one for you. So I kind of changed the plan layout a little bit. Typically, we've been doing our plan, there's many different ways you can write a comp plan, but the old school way, which I think is what your old comp plan was every element had a chapter. So you had a land use chapter, a transportation chapter, an economic development chapter. And we've gotten away from that because not every community has enough information to fill a chapter on transportation or whatever. So our new kind of format we were doing was basing it like an introduction, a general background of the community. So looking at police, fire, transportation, environmental, land use, kind of a snapshot. And then the third chapter being the needs assessment, and then the last chapter being the goals and action items. I lately have felt that that's even not how people think. And this is how I think might read better to the public. So we have an introduction chapter, and then chapter 2 is the vision and goals. And under each goal, you talk about the background information and the needs right there with the goal. So it's
What you
all
want,
together. Yeah. And then on the back page, it just shows chapter 3. We have a whole separate chapter on land use because I think that's important. And then the action plan would be chapter 4. So what I wanted to do was go through this and just talk about what I was thinking about. And I just needed some information from you guys on what's missing and what I should be looking for. So our first goal was improve community services to meet the needs of residents and business owners. And so I feel like this would be community services would be public safety, health, parks and recreation, education. And don't forget too, we have to keep in mind those code requirements, and those are all required components of a comprehensive plan.
Okay.
So I wanted to start talking about public safety, and this is the highlighted areas or areas that I need information. So the Office of Emergency Management, we need our survey, definitely. Does West Union have a police? So, okay. And I don't know if I have you on the stakeholder list as the police department. So I'll send you a survey for the police chief to fill out.
We're really just gonna have to do some groundwork on
And
this. It is
I have to be honest, this is
work.
not uncommon with the stakeholders.
Okay.
I've had communities that, I have one particular community, she's called people, 15 times, please fill out your survey. And see, I sent them out via email.
Well, do you think it's like physically show up in their face and start asking the questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
that might be.
Okay, so it may just be us
Yeah.
going to actually interview them.
Yeah.
Okay. We may have to do some split up of job responsibilities.
So let me make a note.
And I'm pondering this because I have a work study student coming the 1st of May. And that could be a good job for John Campbell. He's quite capable. He's a pretty senior, so it's not like he.
Yeah, I have the survey, so it's just basically reading the questions
And writing
and
the
writing the
responses,
responses. And we used to use students for that too. They're law students, and they just didn't feel like that was, I don't want to say lawyer, that's not a word, but a legal assignment. Plus we have them doing 50 million other things right now. So for me, it's just very time consuming.
It is
That's why I
time
just email them and hope for the best. And a lot of times, some people, I've noticed the ones that did send me back the surveys, they immediately sent it back. And then and I sent another reminder too, and I still haven't heard, so. So yeah, we'll get that, I'll send that to you, Joe, for the police department, and then the sheriff, he said he'd fill it out, so I think that's important. And then the fire departments, there's 5 volunteer fire departments, right? That's really important because they can use the comp plan and grant requests, say, because the questionnaire I have for them asks them, what are your issues and concerns with managing the volunteer fire department? And, we can identify that in a comp plan as a high priority or whatnot. So it's really important that they.
We have one, we can get at least a couple more.
Okay, that they fill those out. And then I did get the one survey back from the county ambulance authority. I did not get the one back from EMS. So that'll be important as well. And then I just had a question about, is there an emergency shelter, like a designated emergency shelter?
There's 8.
I was gonna say there's several.
Several, okay. If somebody could provide a list of those for me.
Yeah, I agree.
The OEMS office has it.
Yeah. So Pat Heister would probably have all that information.
No.
Not George.
George.
Because that's one thing the code actually calls out, that the disaster needs are discussed in emergency shelter and whatnot in a community. Because a lot of communities don't have designated shelter. It's really
How
difficult.
much information do you want there, just a list?
Yeah, where they
Okay.
are, I mean, that's. And then in terms of health, the health department was on the list for so we'll need a survey from them. And then I was reading the old comp plans, which was on, you're kind of a celebrity. You were in a few of, it might not have been a comp plan, it might have been another random study, but you were listed in it. Did you know that? As an asset, so it was good. It was good. I'll have to show you. But I was looking at one of the old comp plans. There was a discussion how there were no doctors or dentists or whatnot. I don't know if that has changed.
It has changed.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But initially, right, we were the
Okay.
last county in the state to have a dentist.
Okay, so you do have
We do.
one dentist. Okay.
Well, it's gonna be two, isn't
They
it?
not have a doctor, because the medical center went in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, yeah, we've had a doctor
The doctor.
for years.
That would have been probably in around 70, wouldn't it, or 71? I was in high
Yeah.
school when that medical center
Some,
was there.
yeah, probably either that or late 60s. It
So there's
was
a-
very late
It
60s.
was, yeah, but it was in the 60s, I think.
So there's an actual medical center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's it called?
Dr. County Medical.
Medical.
Well, no, it's actually called something else
It's
now.
not by UHC.
It's owned by UHC.
Well, UHC manages the practice.
Yeah.
But the
You
medical-
probably find it show on their website. Okay.
And Ritchie County Primary Care.
And they were on our
Yeah,
survey too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get that.
Okay. How about daycare? That was also mentioned, no daycare. No churches have daycare or anything?
Nope.
Wow.
What's over at the old grade school? Is that just after
After
school? After school?
So there is
I think
after
this
school.
summer, there's going to
There's
be.
two after-school programs. There's Project Isaac, and that's by the Board of Education. And it's quirky because School Day Plus is in the old Board of Education, is in the Board of Education building. But it is privately owned now, I think. I'm not
School Day
99%
Plus?
sure. School Day Plus.
Are those income based or are they just open to the?
Project Isaac is open to any child.
Okay.
There is something this summer.
Like a summer camp?
But yeah, daycare. Yeah, I just
School
got
Day
it.
Plus.
Yeah, I don't know what the name of it is. I just got it. Somebody sent me something to an event on, Facebook, how you get those things, saying that it was from, I think, like 6 to 6. Healthy
We're trying to get a
snacking.
number for how many to expect this summer. I
Yeah.
saw that in the paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
The
School Day Plus.
The one at the
School
Board of
Day Plus.
Education, yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Project Isaac was a 21st century grant initially.
Mm-hmm.
And, they were 5 years and they wanted to build some sustainability in our Board of Education. Has consumed most of that programming. It's operated through resale, through leases.
Now, in regards to, health services, or do you feel that everything's good, or there's issues and concerns, or?
They just recently added, now this was through the Ritchie Primary Care, school-based health services,
Okay.
which is super nice for children. You could stop there on the way, and when somebody's sick and can't go to school, you can find out if they really can't.
Sounds like you're talking from personal experience.
No, not mine. Not Scott Hudson's children. Yeah, so that's super nice. And the nice piece about that too is that they're also following up with all like the immunization shots and different
Okay.
things that are
Physicals.
needed. Yeah, physical, school
Sports
physicals, right.
I mean, they take the kid, you can call in and say, can you take my kid over some ibuprofen, and they do.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
use that already.
Right, and that's nice
It
because
is
they're
very
not
nice.
allowed to have any medication
No.
with them. And it's hard, we have 2 school nurses, so that's challenging. So
And I don't think they can even issue
Meds
meds
now.
unless you have a prescription.
Right,
Not-
you have to have
not
a
even
prescription, yeah.
Okay.
You can't have a cough drop today.
Primary care is going to move and expand. Don't ask me what all they're expanding, but I know that they're adding equipment and services, both.
Okay. Now, if somebody has to go to the hospital, does it depend what area of the county you live in, where you go?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Or preference,
Yeah.
preference, yeah.
Does Ritchie County have a, I guess they have a hospital.
No.
No.
It's either
You're
Parkers
looking
or
for-
Parkersport.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a big
Or
fight.
Weston.
UHC wanted to move.
But some people out the other way could go to Weston to Stonewall Jackson.
Mhm.
And they do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There has been some very informal talk about urgent care in the county, but it's not at any level yet that it's me.
Bless you.
Okay. Okay, so under Parks and Recreation, I pretty much have all the information for that. Like I mentioned, what's the gentleman's name?
Great.
Yeah, he did a great job with research, getting a lot of information.
He brought it to me, went over it with me, and then he went back and, yeah, he spent a lot of time.
Yeah, so he talked about the county park and Spencer Park, and then the North Bend Rail Trail, the foundation sent me a survey, and that was really interesting. And they just talked about, what their grand plans are, and there's a movement to join the North Bend Rail Trail to connect to Morgantown and eventually Pittsburgh and Akron and Cleveland and Erie. Their issues and concerns are, well, obviously they have the grant to fix the trail in Doddridge County, but they said they see a lot of vandalism, specifically in Doddridge County, on the trail. And so that's just a concern when they're investing in shelters or, portable restrooms or whatever. And they are working on additional parking
Mainly
and trailheads.
two spots in Doddridge that there's actually 2 locations that tends to get more vandalism in Doddridge. And another issue they have for Doddridge, I'm on the board.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to butt in.
No, that's
but that is one of the issues, but also the trash. People just throw their garbage out through this section more than probably the other 3 combined.
Wow.
So how do you address that? You know, like my streets boys club, we take care of from the tunnel back to the office here. We pick up trash. And it's not bad. I mean, we rarely get I would say maybe a Kroger bag. It's not bad, but still.
Yeah. Well,
How do you address that?
And he did mention,
Vandalism
and he did mention that their hope is, because this portion of the trail, maintenance-wise hasn't been the greatest, so with the grant and fixing it up, the more people will use it, and the more people on the trail could decrease the vandalism. I know, I live by the Great Allegheny Passage in Pennsylvania, and there's actually trail volunteers that bicycle up and down, but I mean, you can only be in so many places at so many times. I think it's just increasing the usage of the trail.
And I will tell you, just like Jack and Isaiah, they were on the trail. I had a meeting here or something, and they wanted to walk the trail short. But then they got up to this one spot, and they were afraid because they had some adults, and I don't think the adults were in any way but it scared them.
Yeah.
What was their fear?
Just the fact that they were approached, and they had these 2 adults, and it was a man and a woman, just asking a bunch of questions and different things, and it kind of scared them.
Oh, just individual.
So now, and Jack the other day, he had brought his bike with him, and he said, well, I want to ride through the tunnel. And of course, I was like, no, you're by yourself. I want you to stay right here where I can see you.
Yeah.
I don't think he could run through the tunnel.
It's too wet.
Yeah.
Well, he thinks he can.
There's also a little West Union Park over at the football field.
Is that what's that?
City Park,
Yeah.
Is that what he's calling Spencer Park?
No,
That's
that's at Smithburg.
Okay.
Yeah. And we put it right.
It's farmer's market,
And
basketball.
And so what's the park you're?
It's just the West Union City Park. It doesn't have a name really. It's just, there's a slide and teeter-totter and a couple basketball courts.
And that was developed as a result of a Benedum mini grant project
Okay.
back in 94, 95.
Are there any issues or concerns with that park?
We're going to repaint it this summer.
You're retaining.
The town is, yeah.
What are you retaining?
The slide and the teeter-totter. One of them looks like a duck, one of them looks like a
There you go.
turtle, something, or something else. I don't know, Melissa got volunteered to do it.
Is there any playground equipment besides the slide or the teeter-totter, or no?
There's a frame there for swings. We haven't decided yet whether we'll put the swings up. That's, we want to accept that for liability or not. It's still.
Well, the teeter-totter,
Well, no, this is just one of the springs. This isn't one of the old style.
okay, like
This
those.
is just a spring, yeah.
Because, things we played on as kids now.
Oh, yeah.
are not.
They still have those down at the lake.
Just stand here, kids.
Well, I don't know whether you consider, well, it's private, I was gonna say Crystal Lake for Parks and Recreation, but it's private. It's
Well, what is,
private.
I mean, it's still, I think it's important to mention.
It's a,
Private lake,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a private lake.
And what can
Gated,
you do there?
swim,
fish,
fish,
boat,
small boat,
There's a little park.
There's
picnic.
cookouts, tennis court, basketball,
Oh, wow, there's a lot.
shuffleboard.
Jeez.
But it's private.
Yes, it is
So how
private.
much, do you have,
Gated.
Gated community.
so there's
Yeah.
houses?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are they seasonal houses?
Some are.
Some.
Because I have to say, I was shocked when I was going through census, the amount of seasonal housing in the county.
Yeah, yeah. I would say now it's probably 3/4 seasonal, 3/4 seasonal,
So you can't use it unless you live there?
or you're invited,
Okay.
and you can go in with a member.
Okay.
Have they done much on the way of improvements in that area in the last
Oh, yeah,
10,
they
15 years?
put up new playground equipment.
Have they really?
And, yeah,
It was starting to get in decline just a little.
yeah, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Last time I was there.
I haven't been there for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in regards to education, we'll get the survey back from the board. Let's see. The schools, does anybody know when they were built? Because I know they're newer.
92?
92, they opened the middle school, and
The rest
then
of it after that.
John was,
Yeah, the middle school was the first one.
Okay.
God, I
And then
can't-
the elementary, then the high school. The high
Oh,
school, let me think.
the
They
high,
opened Mandy's last year in high school.
it's been 17 years, this is our last year to pay the,
99?
Since what?
Well, no.
we've only got one more year to pay on the school bond.
Oh, well, yeah, but the high school wasn't open until, Adam graduated in 2001, he graduated from the old high school. So it was after 2001.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, if you can
Well, I
find,
was on the board in 2006, I believe it opened in 2006.
I'd say you're pretty close. I'd say you're pretty close.
Yeah, I remember building high school and building house at the same
The
time,
elementary was built after
before.
before the high school, but after the middle school, so it's in between.
Tyler was, his first year would be.
I think it's important to mention because I'm working in a lot of communities that have schools as a major concern, because they're
Right.
older.
Yeah.
That's not a
Yeah,
problem
no,
here.
no.
And I hear generally good things about the schools here,
They're good
where I
schools.
don't hear that in other places.
We also have a pre-K center.
Yeah.
And the school, the school bond and the levy have all passed for decades. I mean, not the bond, but the levies passed for decades. 60s, does that sound right, Tammy?
I'm not that old.
No, but I was thinking you might have remembered it was all the levy.
No, the school levy has always
A
passed.
long time.
And
That's a total levy.
I think one time it may not have, but they ran it again in the same year in the
Second
past.
time, yeah.
But, and the bond, like I said, 17 years old, we're getting out from underneath of
Yeah.
it.
Now, so that would be under community services. And then we'll go back through and see if I missed anything. But under housing, we have the goal of strengthen housing opportunities to attract and retain residents. So this is where I'll discuss the number of housing units, vacancies, value, age, the type, and that's all from the census. So I was doing that, getting those numbers together, and I got the info from the one realtor, and so we still had another one on the state court.
Who answered your one? Did Sunnyside answer?
No.
They did.
R&R.
Okay. So Matt and Dana would be a good one to get
That's
to
who the
answer.
other one was, it was listed, I think.
If we can't get
Yeah,
them,
Sunnyside is on.
McConnell, Marla.
Is she still working?
I don't know.
And then I was looking at the previous comp plan, I think I left it in my car.
You talk about that 2000?
I think so.
It wasn't really a comp plan, was it? Yeah, but it had a lot of information.
Yeah, there was, I thought, something really interesting for West Union. They identified all of the dilapidated housing by parcel in West Union.
Okay.
And I didn't know if that was something that we wanted to look at that map and update it, because I keep hearing abandoned dilapidated housing is an issue, specifically in West Union, and that might be helpful moving forward to kind of have an idea of where it is, if there's concentrated pockets, or if it's kind of spread out. And, I mean, we can take a look at that map. When I'm done here, I'll run it to the car and show it to you, but that's a thought. And the code requires that you address affordable housing and then universally designed housing accessible to persons with disabilities.
Wow.
Yeah, they specifically call that out. So my question is there universally designed housing accessible to persons with disabilities?
Yes, there is, right next
Well,
to
yeah,
it.
that's-
Oh, yeah.
Children's Manor.
Yeah.
Children?
Childers,
How do you spell that?
CHILDERS.
Okay. All right.
But it's very limited, I mean, that's,
Yeah, they have a waiting list.
they do.
Okay.
I was told.
And are they under
There's a
serving
little
this?
bit of disrepair inside too.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I wasn't in. so
Rick was
I
in
said
there.
I've heard. Oh, that's-
Until last 6 months, till October, and it was,
I think they would be a good person to talk to, just about,
Senior.
yeah, because I don't, we have the senior citizens on here, but is that associated with the
That's-
city?
yes,
Okay.
That's why I said.
So we just need their survey back. How about affordable housing? Is there subsidized housing everywhere,
Not anymore.
or low income?
Vouchers,
Okay.
and there's blockhouse
blockhouse leader.
manor, that's not very many units.
Block house deal? Is it
Blockhouse
still
manor.
subsidized?
As far as I know,
Yeah, I don't know either.
There are some Section 8 vouchers, but I don't know, I don't know if Harrison Housing Authority has those. There's no housing authority,
Okay.
okay?
Are individuals who accept HUD, is that considered?
What?
Is HUD considered?
Yeah.
There are a few trailer courts that have
Yes,
HUD.
yeah, that's true
I've
too.
flown around there too.
There's two on Flint.
Okay.
Housing's a challenge.
Yes.
We, yeah.
And I can tell that by just looking at the census statistics. We'll go to that more in detail in the next meeting, but. Now, I know we talked about abandoned and dilapidated buildings a lot. Has the county or town passed any ordinances or have any committees, or it's just kind of in the beginning stages?
the town is working on one that there was a change between the legislature this time,
Yeah.
and our attorney was waiting to see what the final results of that was before we visited.
And this brings up that toolkit I was telling you about. Let me see if and this is the website. Jesse was really involved with this, and Kat, our director of our clinic, but this kit's online that addresses some of the legal tools that are available to address abandoned and dilapidated housing. But when we start talking about abandoned housing specifically, we'll go through those. But the most popular one everybody is starting with is the vacant property registry. Is that what you were looking at? Or no?
I'm not sure.
I
Okay.
think so.
I may have-
But like, if you look at the back, like, they said like laying the foundation, the comp plan. And so, for instance, in Weston, they have a huge issue with abandoned and dilapidated housing. And so we identified specific areas in Weston that they should invest and focus on instead of just kind of doing it here and there and nobody's seeing any change. And so, you know, that's your first, and that's why I brought up that map, that maybe that's something we should do for West Union, is update that map so you kind of have a better idea of how big the problem is and where it's at. And West Union's not that big, so it wouldn't be that difficult.
Is
And
this-
then,
Is this a combination of, or is the one that Brownfields used to host, their toolkit is?
yeah, this is different, this is more legal.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that one's still up on
Yes,
Brownfields.
and Brownfield was part of this grant, we got a grant from the vendor to do this. and
It's got
great.
some neat little tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was more, because Jesse, Kat, and Jared, they're all attorneys, they focus more on, so like, well, obviously the town or city, county doesn't have the building code, but then it talks about the on-site tickets, the vacant property registration, which I mentioned. And see, the county's limited in what they can do. They can't do a vacant property registry, whereas the city or the town can. But the county can, in Harrison County, they just passed a demolition loan program where they're trying to loan money out at a low interest to help homeowners get rid of their house. So there are different tools we can look at. But I would just say take a look at this, and then we'll get back to this when we get specifically into housing. And it's online. If you look on the bottom of their website, it's a whole tool called PDF. And I can print hard copies too. I think we got so many of them. Okay, so the third goal, identify and foster appropriate economic development opportunities. The code says that you should do they don't call it a SWOT, they leave out the threats, but they say you have to identify strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities. Now, we did this kind of generally, but we didn't boil it specific to economic development. So I took what we did and detailed it out. I just wanted to kind of get some input from you. So, well, one thing I did notice is your unemployment rate is lower than surrounding counties, which is good.
Enhancement is.
However, it has increased since, but that's probably because of the gas drilling is kind of declining and whatnot. And then obviously there's strength from some people. Some people might think it's a threat, but it's gas drilling, which I'm trying to get stats on that, like the actual, because right now I read an article by you, Doddridge County is #1 now? Do you have a source for that? Okay.
Well, I'm the state journal.
Okay.
Put that out.
Because I got on the DEP's website and I just,
There's not a lot of
Yeah.
information on oil and gas.
because the PA, like, we have databases that you can
Yeah.
drill down and get specific information, and I just can't.
Well, you can do that on WBGIS and the county.
Yeah,
number.
that would give like the actual permits, but I wanted just kind of general, like, you're the #1 producer, because it used to be Harrison
It's-
County and.
Yeah.
It's on there,
Is
on
it?
WBGIS.
Okay, I'll have to look, but, and then I just Googled it, you gotta love Google, but I found an article with the Doddridge County Assessor talking about, the impact.
2016 at 2 p.m. First thing on the agenda is the invocation. Pastor Burnside.
Our Father, we come to you today thanking you for the many blessings. Thank you for this opportunity to be here to conduct school business. Father, I pray that you'll help us, God, to make decisions in the best interest of our students, faculty, and staff. Lord, we ask your blessings upon those who are going to be honored today for their achievements. God, I pray that you'd meet their every need as they go on further into college, whatever their goals may be. Father, we ask you that you would help us, Lord, in this county to always be thankful for what you've done for us and how you've provided for us. Thank you, Father, that Laura's not hurt any worse than what she is. I pray, God, that you heal her leg. Lord, we pray for JD today, God, that your hand be along him and help him as he goes for his surgery. Lord, so many people need you today, but Father, I'm glad you're able to take care of each situation, and we're trusting you for this. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Give Ms. Stevenson, she graciously volunteered. Come on up front here.
Oh, it gets worse after.
You get the middle, it's all you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Paul, don't move yet.
He needs something for the cornerbacks for this summer. He grows up. Good job.
You can probably stay up here, that's perfect. You like your next. Approval agenda,
Motion.
second. Mr. Burnside made the motion, Mr. Piggott second. All in favor? 5 vote for the record. Presentation, Superintendent Coffey.
Okay. It gives me great pleasure, and I want to thank Grandma and Mom and Dad for coming, to honor Haley. The thing, I don't want to steal Coach's any of his thunder about the basketball. I'll read what's on the certificate, you know, whenever he gets done. But I do want to say, as much as you've contributed as an athlete, Haley, I'm even more impressed with who you are as a student and as a person. And you've represented us well in everything that you've done, and we're proud of you. So.
And that's for all of us.
I'd just like to obviously honor and recognize Haley Stevenson today for, again, all of her accomplishments on the basketball court. I was very fortunate enough to get to work with Haley just a little bit when she came to Dobbins County High School as a freshman, and then even more fortunate to get to work with her and be her coach during her senior season. The transformation of Haley over time has just been tremendous. The fact that she was able to take on a role that she wasn't really that comfortable with this season, and then begin to accept that role that she did need to be the majority of our offensive opportunities and scoring. She wasn't comfortable with that at the beginning of the year, but then obviously became more comfortable with that scoring. I think 418 points total this season alone, joining the 1,000-point club. She did try to make that interesting as we got down to the final game. It wasn't until there was 1 minute and 13 seconds left, I think, when she finally scored her 1,000th point. But to see how her teammates and the community reacted at that game, the gym was packed. Her teammates couldn't have been happier for her. And then by the end of the season was able to move herself up to the second all-time leading scorer in girls basketball history at Doddridge. Sorry you weren't going to catch Susan Robinson. You were only like 1,300 points short.
She was an All-American at Penn State.
Yeah. But anyway, like's been said, Haley's a tremendous young lady, a tremendous person, and we're currently looking at a couple options for her to continue her basketball career after high school. And we're hoping we can help her as much as we can with that as well. So we have a certificate here.
Go ahead.
Says 1,000-point club. Haley Stevenson, outstanding accomplishment. Second all-time leading scorer in girls basketball at Doddridge County High School. First team all LKC 2015-16. And then also I think the greatest accomplishment for her is the second team all-state nomination 2015-16 as well. So with that being said, Haley Stevenson. Take the shoes off.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I want to congratulate you too. I remember when you were in 8th grade. You grew a lot. You got a lot bigger.
Congratulations. We're going to miss you. Oh, and good luck with your college search. You guys are welcome to stay for the whole meeting, but we won't be offended if you have to leave.
School's probably a lot more fun.
Oh, I have a recreational sports one.
Okay. All right.
Next thing is delegations. There is none for the record. So reports, academics, Superintendent Huff.
Yes, there's a couple items that I asked Gary to share with you all. And Gary, thanks for. Sit right there. My big head. See you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Okay, not a whole lot of items on here. The first one is ring scheduling. They just completed doing that at the high school. It was a huge undertaking. First year, I believe, they've done ring scheduling. And since Dr. Coons is here, I'll allow him to speak to that.
Well, we were very pleased. The counselors and office staff really put a lot of effort together with that. And we were able to schedule everyone present in the building in less than 3 hours. It went very smoothly. It was organized, the teachers and students. And we think that a little over 90% of the students got their first choices on courses for the upcoming year. So I was real pleased with that. And Mr. Aldaker and Mr. Harvey spent the afternoon with us, so they helped out as well. So they got to see how it worked firsthand. But There were a lot of people at the high school, Mr. Ross, who created the scan cards and all those kind of things. A lot of people's effort to make it go so smoothly. So first time, just a few little things we need to tweak for next time, but we're very pleased with the result.
And I've done scheduling for a lot of years. I was not an arena scheduling fan, and I let them know that, but it went off way better than I ever expected. It was very efficient, very smooth. I was very impressed with it. I really was. Hats off to them. And coming up in another week or two, we're going to take it down to the middle school, and we're going to do the arena scheduling at the middle school for the 8th graders coming in to be freshmen next year. So they're going to do a little arena scheduling down at the middle school for the 8th graders. This next item deals with the elementary school, basically. It's a pre-K through 3 initiative from the state. It came out late at the end of the year last year, and it's kind of like a grant, but not really, because it's mandated that you participate. So you get $14,000, but it's kind of a big document you have to fill out. We went to RISA and filled that out last week. And like I said, it involves pre-K, kindergarten, and 1st through 3rd, trying to get those kids on level reading before they get out of 3rd grade. And there are 4 topics in there that you have to address in an action plan. It's attendance, instruction, extended learning, and school readiness. So it's kind of a lot of work for a little bit of money, but I think it's the initiative from our state superintendent, I believe, to make sure that each county is addressing that early literacy portion of education. This next item is dealing with testing, and this was just Mr. Coughlin wanted me to put. You guys have probably already seen this article. It's in both papers. Just something to put together that, what each of our schools are doing to prepare our students for our upcoming state assessment, and had some results in there from last year, how we did. And each school, like I said, they're going above and beyond this year to try to get ready for this test. A lot of new incentive programs, a lot of interventions going on, so I think we're definitely on track. We're ready to go as far as students being prepared academically.
I might just add to that also, if you haven't read the article, if you look in there, our test scores being at or above state average at the high school, middle school, and elementary was also good news. And I just like the positive spin that he put on all of it, because each school is working real hard to get ready for the test. And it mentions how well we did last year. Thank you, Gary, for that.
Last item is the textbook adoption for our science textbooks. We're not ready to ask you guys I'm not ready to turn in the requisition just yet, but, I thought maybe if you guys wanted to look at them, these are the books that the high school teachers are deciding to go with. So if you want to take if you want to browse through those and glance at them. But the elementary and middle school are going to go with this Discovery Education. I'm just going to play like a couple minutes of this, so don't. Maybe I will.
Video, you'll learn about science textbooks, instructional framework, level navigation, and key features for students and teachers. Science Textbook is a comprehensive core instructional resource that includes life science, earth and space science, and physical science courses for middle school. In this video, we'll focus on physical science, but the navigation and functionality that you see is applicable in all middle school science textbooks. Science Textbook was developed from the ground up, using the performance expectations and dimensions from NGSS as its foundation. The Common Core State Standards for English Language Arts and Mathematics also guided development. It's web-based, so it can be used on any device, anywhere, anytime. Science Textbook is designed to support three-dimensional teaching and learning by integrating the disciplinary core ideas, science and engineering practices, and cross-cutting concepts. There are 2 major goals for Science Textbook: to be flexible so teachers can incorporate resources seamlessly into their classrooms, and to immerse students in the work, abilities, and attitudes of real scientists and engineers. Science Textbook is designed for use in any technology setting, in one-to-one classrooms, in classrooms with several computers, or in classrooms with only one computer and an interactive whiteboard. This flexibility allows teachers to design their instruction to meet the needs of their students, and it supports a centers-based approach. This approach helps to foster the community, collaboration, and creativity that scientists use every day. Centers allow students the opportunity to share, learn, and work with their peers to mirror the real work three-dimensional teaching and learning looks using the instructional resource table. Now let's transition to the student-facing 5E pages. In Engage, Science Textbook introduces a concept and its relevance. The Before You Begin section is where students can brush up on what they should have learned previously. Students can interact with a variety of text and audiovisual resources to match their diverse learning styles. Text within Textbook is constructed to support universal design for learning. We call this the core interactive text. Before they read the text, students can access videos and still images. This helps them make sense of complex topics. The interactive glossary uses animation, text, video, and images, and students can toggle between English, Spanish, and French. Finally, students can highlight, take notes, and use the text-to-speech feature to have a section read aloud.
The particle model of matter states that all matter is made of tiny particles that are in constant motion, have empty spaces between them, and are attracted toward each other.
Science Textbook provides many resources besides text for students to develop science and engineering practices. Virtual labs provide a simulation where students can collect and analyze data, use computational thinking, construct explanations, and evaluate information. In this virtual lab, students investigate the rate of thermal energy transfer between materials and then design a handle for a new skillet using their knowledge from the investigation. During the Explore tab, students are introduced to how the simulation works. They're asked to change variables and can see the resultant data. After exploring, students are asked to plan their investigation. They're provided with articles, videos, and a briefing document to help develop a testable question and investigative procedure. Finally, students are asked to conduct their experiment. Here they can carry out their investigation in a safe place and make changes to their procedures as they need.
That's just a brief overview. That is the online textbook that the elementary and middle school teachers have decided to go with. I know there was, some question before if, we were going to be able to utilize our tablets if we were going to get textbooks that were online. And so this Discovery Learning textbook, it is all digital. Now, the high school textbooks, the teachers are still going to have a traditional text, but there'll also still be a digital component to it where they can do online labs, three-dimensional type stuff. So, yeah, if you want to get online and look at that some more, it's, I forget what I think it's discoveryeducation.com is the website for this Discovery textbook. So we're about ready to submit our requisition. I guess it is. I'm kind of new, I've never been on this end of a textbook adoption before, so I'm still, it's a learning process.
I think you also brought some hard copy of the textbooks.
Yeah, those are
right?
the high school textbooks.
And if the board, would like to look at any of the electronic stuff, of course, we can help you do that. Or if you want to, skim any of the textbooks, Gary will have them available.
And I've been in contact with Darren, and he has called these textbook companies, and he's assured me that there wouldn't be any compatibility problems with the devices that we have.
Anybody got any questions? Mr. Bell? Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Good job.
Next, departmental.
I don't think everything we got.
No, I have several simulated projects. The next meeting, I'm going to just bring outline some future projects, but not at this time.
For record, there's nothing under departmental. Under other? Same day. Nothing under other. Consent agenda. Does anybody have anything you want to hold on the consent agenda? Motion to approve Mr. Bernstein. Second, Mr. Bell. Any discussion?
I just wanted to say that I happened to go, I saw on here the middle school was going, the choir was, and I wanted to say that I was down in Charleston for the middle school performance in the state, and was so proud of Douglas County. There were 27 counties represented, and Douglas was one of them, and I was real proud of that. So, they made us proud. I just wanted to let you know.
All in favor? 5-0. Unfinished business, employee leave policy revision, third reading.
There's no discussion, motion to approve.
Mr. Burnside. Second, Mrs. Baker. Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0 for the record. Guidelines for administering medication at school policy, second reading. Does anybody have anything to add or to superintendent know about? So no motion needs to be made since it's only second reading. The next one is on bullying, cyberbullying, harassment, intimidation policy. Any new news on that? No motion is made, second reading. Freedom of Information Act policy revision, second reading. Same for it. Getting the information provided to Superintendent Kaufman. Wellness policy, first reading, Superintendent Kaufman.
Just the things that needed tweak were suggested. I would encourage you just to look it over. And if you have any good suggestions or anything that you question, just let us know.
New business 2016 mowing bids, Superintendent Kaufman.
Yeah, I would recommend we go into executive session so we can discuss that.
So moved.
So move Mr. Burnside. Second, Mr. Bell. Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. So it's 2:20. We're going into executive session of the mowing bid.